All right, here we go. It's a brand new Flyers Daily for the 12th of November, 2024. Flyers Daily, as always, presented by Ticketmaster. Make more memories live. The Flyers coming off their third shootout victory of the season. We're 16 games in. They've had 4 shootouts, so a quarter of their games have been decided by the shootout, and they've got a 3-1 record in shootouts. Again, I ask, what planet are we on? I did that back when the Flyers won the shootout against the Tampa Bay Lightning, and I may have done that back in Game 1 of the season, back on October 11th when the Flyers opened up with a shootout victory over the Vancouver Canucks 3-2. But they hang on, get a win against the Sharks, who played the night before in New Jersey for Game 1 of their road trip. Flyers didn't play the day before, so that was an advantage for the Flyers. But they manage to not completely blow a 3-0 lead. Oh, that would have been devastating had they blown this game against the Sharks after the Sharks last year got their first win against the Flyers after the 2 games prior, giving up a 10 spot in each of them. And then they beat the Flyers, I think it was 2-1 if I recall, game 13 of the season for the Flyers. But that doesn't happen in this game. They end up with a 4-3 victory. Let's get to the particulars. Got to be a high shot total of the season, 43 shots on goal for the Philadelphia Flyers. And it wasn't just that they had a bunch of shots and they weren't quality. No, the expected goals model had them well over 4 goals in this game. And they had a lot of quantity and quality in the hockey game. Several odd man rush opportunities in the first period, some more in the second, maybe a little clamped down after that in the third period by San Jose, but 43 shots on goal and a lot of really good opportunities. Vitek Vanacek in goal for San Jose after the night before Mackenzie Blackwood went back to New Jersey and shut out his former team 1-0. But 43-31 were the shots. Each team went to the man advantage on a number of occasions in this game. Face-offs were split right down the middle. But the Flyers opened the scoring. You know, we were talking on the pregame show on the radio, Brian Smith, myself, and former Flyer defenseman Chris Therien. And one thing Bundy pointed out is you got to get goals from the guys you expect to score. We'll talk about that. But you also got to get those secondary scoring goals. And I don't even know if I would go secondary scoring for the guy who scored the first goal for the Flyers a minute 40 in. It was Eric Johnson. That's like third-ary, fourth-ary scoring, if those are even words. They're not. But Eric Johnson gets in on a 2-on-1 with Anthony Richard. Richard's speed, once again, showing very prevalent in this game. He's a point-per-game player for the Flyers, 2 games into his Flyers NHL career. But Johnson going down the right side gets a perfect pass from Richard, and he just beats Vanacek, 1-0 Flyers. Flyers several more good opportunities right after the goal. I think they hit a post. I think it was Owen Tippett who hit the post in the first period. Then eventually they get on the power play, and Travis Konecny kind of directing things like a conductor for an orchestra. You can see him kind of pointing his stick around as they're moving the puck around. But why did they score? Because everybody was moving. The puck was moving. Tippett to Andre to Michkov. Michkov, one-touch pass, puts it on a tee for Konecny, who slams it home. Power play goal, 8th goal of the season for Konecny. Puts the Flyers up 2-0, 15:56 into the first period. They really didn't let San Jose up for air a whole lot in that period either. Really good power play. And again, it was all about the motion, how much movement is taking place. You know, we talk about this a lot when it comes to a power play. A static power play that the participants don't do a whole lot of movement, kind of sit in one area, take a pass, and then try and distribute it, doesn't do much because teams know how to play that. If the players are moving and the puck is moving, that combination, every time it moves and players are moving with it and without it, it creates decisions. Decisions. The more decisions you can put a team defending to when you're at an advantage of an extra player, eventually they're going to make the wrong decision. They're going to overcommit with one of those decisions. There's going to be a miscommunication. I thought you were going to pop out and get them, and I was going to stay back and cover the middle, or vice versa. Those things. But when you're doing that, when you have that motion and you're moving the puck decisively and you're making good passes, you get good opportunities. And this is just a tic-tac-toe from Andre to Michkov to Konechny, and it's in the back of the net. That's how you draw it up. It's hard to defend when you do that, and you can do it with crisp passes and all of those elements of movement. So really good-looking power play. That power play goal looked like a power play goal we saw early in the season. Then they kind of got away from that a little bit. That's a legit power play goal. Flyers go up 2-0. That's how the first period would end. Pick it up in the second. 5:09 into the second period. Matvei Michkov, who gets back into the lineup, already has an assist on the power play to Konechny with a nice one-touch pass, is able to pick up his 5th goal of the season on the breakaway. Now, the thing about this goal is when he decided to leak to get behind the Shark defensemen, both of them. There's a play on the right wall high in the Flyers' defensive zone, and there's 2 players that converge on the Shark player. And they converge on the player when the Shark player puts himself in a vulnerable position on his backhand. Yegor Zamula comes in, Ryan Poehling comes in, and they just envelop the Shark player. And as soon as they both go to that, and it becomes a 2-versus-1 board battle, and Michkov notices the Shark player is on his backhand and vulnerable, that's when he goes, okay, risk versus reward. Let me calculate this in my brain. Okay, the reward is worth the risk here, because I think it's about an 88% chance that my 2-versus-1 in this board battle with a San Jose Sharks player in a vulnerable position on his backhand, I think that they're going to win that battle, and they're going to be able to get me the puck up the ice behind the Sharks defenseman, which is exactly what happens. He didn't leak the zone early. He didn't blow out and just go, I'm gone. I'm not going to worry about it. He didn't. He read it right on the wall and then got up the ice, then called for the puck. Poehling got it to him. He went in, and I thought the shot was interesting too. If you look on the Flyers' Twitter, at NHL Flyers, you can see a tweet they put out of the goal. It says POV, Matvei Michkov coming in for the goal, I think it's something like that. And you watch his eyes. And to me, I watch his eyes and I watch his shoulders, and it looks to me like he's showing Vanacek high blocker. That's where he's looking, and to me, that's the way his body is showing, that he wants to shoot the puck high blocker. So Vanacek has to lift a little bit, thinking he's going high blocker, and when he lifts a little bit, what does Michkov do? Nice little shot along the ice. And because Vanacek lifted a little bit, he can't get down to seal it. Very savvy, little tiny element that helps him score that goal. So Flyers go up 3-0 on the Michkov goal. Goal and an assist for Matvei in his return. But at 15:29, Jack Thompson has one go off his skate into the net. Now it's a 3-1 game. I don't really like the way that feels too much. Now you got a 2-goal lead. But at 18:33, before the period's even over, Michael Granlund picks up a goal, and now it's 3-2. Tremendous, by the way, pass by William Eklund on the Michael Granlund goal from behind the net. And Sam Ersson is blinded by basically 3 players, including Rasmus Ristolainen and another player from San Jose, just taking his eyes away. And it's a good shot from Granlund inside the post on the short side. And now all of a sudden the Sharks are within 1, and the Flyers head to the third period only up a goal. Now, 17:36 into the third, and you're going, oh, geez. Kidding me? 2:24 left to go in the game. Barclay Goodrow ties it at 3. You're going, oh, my God, they came all the way back from being down 3-0 in this game. They played last night. You cannot let this one slip away. You cannot let a point or 2 points slip away in this situation. You're getting things. You had a decent road trip where you got 3 of a possible 6 points against Carolina, Tampa, and Florida. 3 really good teams. You're 29 seconds away from coming out with at least a point against Carolina. You beat Tampa in a shootout, then you lose to Florida in the shootout. So we go to overtime for the 3rd straight game. No blood in overtime. Head to the shootout. Owen Tippett goes first for the Flyers, stopped by Vitek Vanacek. Macklin Celebrini, who I was pretty impressed by the way, stopped by Sam Ersson. So no blood through round 1 of the shootout. Then John Tortorella throws Matvei Michkov out there, and he is able to get the goal in the shootout. And it was something I think we see very rarely in shootouts. It was a full-blown deke. He deked him out. Sometimes players do a quick deke move and shot in the shootout, especially because the ice is a little tired and pucks can roll. Michkov went in, full-blown deke, and just beat Vanacek. Just beat him. He threw about 8 different head fakes and about 6 different shoulder fakes from the time he was at the dots to when he releases the puck just north of the goal line. Great shootout attempt from Matvei Michkov. Flyers go up 1-0 in the shootout. Will Smith goes next. He ends up shooting the puck wide, doesn't even get a shot on goal. So all the Flyers have to do is have Travis Konechny score on the shootout. It won't even go 3 rounds. Well, we'll go 3 for them, but it won't even go 3 for San Jose because they'll be down by 2. And what does Konechny do? He goes in and pretty much does the same exact move he did against Andrei Vasilevsky, where he comes in off that right side with that right shot and kind of drags the play across, hoping to get the goalie to go a little too far to his blocker side, and then he can go high glove side as the goalie is fading to the other direction. It's good because you're shooting with – he's shooting against the goalie's momentum. The goalie's momentum for the goalie is moving left to right, and TK's coming across that with him, but he shoots it back the other way. It's a very difficult save to make, and he ends up getting the goal. Konechny continues his great play, a 2-point night for Matvei Michkov, an assist on the power play goal, a goal in regulation, and then the shootout goal, and the Flyers come away with a 4-3 win over the San Jose Sharks. Now, the Flyers in their last 9 games all of a sudden now are 5-3-1, and that's a great thing. They certainly are moving in the right direction. And it's not just because, they've got a better result. Sometimes you can't judge everything by the result, although it's a results-oriented business. But what you can do is you use your eyes. Like, you can see it looks different. It looks better. And while, last night was against the San Jose Sharks, and they're one of the bottom dwellers in the league, frankly, the Flyers going into that game were one of the bottom dwellers in the league as well. But you see how the Flyers performed against Carolina, against Tampa, against Florida. So there's that element in there. What is this team? I have no idea still. We're 16 games in, and I don't know what this team is. I got a bunch of emails from different Flyer fans talking about, Jared sent me one, said recalibrating expectations. And he's talking about, he originally bet that the Flyers would make the playoffs this year. He's a big Ersson guy. But what is this team? I don't know. What I do know is this, is that Emil Andre is absolutely, I can't see a scenario where he goes back. I don't know what else he could prove, either at the NHL level or AHL level, to say this is where he belongs. I thought he was excellent in the game last night. He's had some moments where he's made bad plays, but he doesn't care. He gets right back at it and tries to make more plays. He's got a lot of bite in his game and a lot of stones in his game. All said and done, you look at the minutes that he played last night, what do I say all the time? Don't listen to what a coach or a general manager says about a player. Look about how they're used. Look at their deployment. Emil Andre, this is definitely a career high, played 25 minutes and 40 seconds. QB'd PP1, and they got a goal, and he set it up. He was awesome in the game. The only guy that played more than him in the game was Travis Sanheim, who for the second straight game played north of 30 minutes. Now, these are overtime games, so they're a little higher. I mean, Sanheim's been an absolute just animal. 30 minutes the last 2 games is crazy. Ristolainen in the game last night, 24:08. Nick Seeler played 18:42. Zamula played 13 and change, and Eric Johnson played just about 13 minutes as well. But to see Emil Andre getting 25 minutes and 40 seconds, that's a good sign. That's when you can tell how a coach thinks about a player. For example, forwards, Konechny leading the way. It's not a shock, 21-23, 27 shifts. You look at Owen Tippett, 19:45, just about 20 minutes. And Couturier, who, if we go back to the game on October 15th, third game of the season, against Edmonton, I think he played under 10 minutes in that game. The last game, he led all forwards with 24 minutes and change of ice time. His game has come around in a huge way. So when we look at the last 9 games and we see a record of 5-3-1, it's not hard to figure out why. It's not because they're getting more shots on goal. It's because they're defending, but they're not defending as much, and they're playing much better 5-man unit hockey when you're at even strength. And they've gotten some pretty decent goaltending. That helps, obviously. Ersson's been good 2 games since he's been back. Fedotov obviously gave you a really good win where you only score 1 goal in regulation and you get a shootout win. Kolosov gave you some quality as well. He doesn't still have his first NHL win, but they've gotten some pretty good goaltending. So where are they right now? With that win last night, it jumps them up in the standings. They went into the game in the last spot in the Metropolitan Division. They've played 16 games. They've got 14 points, 6-8-2 on the season, 5-4-1 in their last 10, 5-3-1 in their last 9. They're tied with the Penguins, who have played one more game, and they're 2 points up on Columbus, and the Flyers have played 2 more games than Columbus. And they're sitting 1 point back of the Islanders. They're sitting 5 points back of the Rangers. But, yeah, I mean, what are they? I don't know. And I don't know where they're going. But this is what kicked off last night was 5 home games of the next 7 are at Wells Fargo Center. And you needed to start that off against a team like San Jose with a win. I don't like that San Jose came back from down 3-0. I don't. I think it was a kind of human nature thing. Flyers let their foot off the gas. San Jose gets kind of a lucky goal off a foot. Then they get another one and build some momentum. And sometimes in sports, you kind of let your foot off the gas and the other team grabs momentum and you go, well, just do what you did the first 30 minutes of the game that got you up 3-0. And it's not that simple. You can't just flip that switch again in the same game and go, okay, we got to bear down again. Let's regain a nice 2 or 3 goal lead. It doesn't work like that. So you got to be careful to not let that happen. They let that happen a little bit. They got to learn from that. That's a big element. But in this homestand, so San Jose last night, win. They're going to go to Ottawa on Thursday, take on Claude Giroux and the Ottawa Senators. Then they're going to come back home for 5 straight at Wells Fargo. Saturday against Buffalo. Next Monday, a week from yesterday, against Colorado, who's off to a really scruffy start. Then Carolina at Wells Fargo Center on Wednesday the 20th. Then Chicago comes in, Connor Bedard, Saturday, November 23rd. And then they'll wrap up the 5-game homestand with Vegas on the 25th, on Monday. 3 Monday games in a row. Very rare. Then they'll go to Nashville. Then they'll get the Rangers for the Black Friday game. And they'll have a back-to-back Friday and Saturday. Rangers at home on Friday, and then St. Louis Blues on Saturday in St. Louis. And that'll wrap up the month. Now, if we get to the end of November, we got to start figuring out who the heck this team is. I don't know who they are. I'm hoping to know after that. After November 30th in St. Louis, I'm hoping to go, I think I have a pretty good feel or indication what this team is, what they're going to be, what they have a chance to do. Should they stay healthy? Kind of the high and the low, range of what they're capable of. Maybe at that point we'll have a good indication. Right now, still don't have an indication, just 16 games in. I don't. I'm not there yet. So we'll see where it goes. All in all, a win last night. Matvei Michkov was back in the lineup. Morgan Frost was a healthy scratch. We'll see if he draws back in coming up for Thursday in Ottawa as well. All right, everybody, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll get back after tomorrow. So join us then on a brand new Flyers Daily.